The lights, the sounds, the cameras, the electricity. If you can feel it, hear it, see it, chances are an IBEW electrician built it. The members of the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers Local 716 built the things that make Rice University and Houston great, and we want you to join us. Excellent training, fantastic benefits in retirement, and zero student loan debt. Build a better career. To find out more, visit IBEW716.net.
The following is a presentation of the Rice Sports Network. The Rice Sports Network. From Learfield IMG College. On the Rice Sports Network from Learfield IMG College. Welcome to Rice Owls Insider, powered by the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers Local 716, lighting up Rice University in Houston for over 100 years. Now, here's the voice of the Owls, J.P. Heath.
Welcome back to Rice Owls Insider, presented by IBEW Local 716, lighting up Rice University for over 100 years. Make sure you subscribe on your podcast outlet of choice. Hit us with a subscribe if you have not already on the Rice Athletics YouTube page. That's where we are doing the video portion of this. For those on the audio side, I'd like you to meet the video side. Those on the video side, I'd like you to meet the podcast side. You can find us in a couple big outlets. But today's show, going to be another fun one. We'll, of course, chat with men's basketball coach Scott Pera. Owls got the broom out and swept Southern Miss this past weekend. How about the ability for the Owls to respond after that blowout win Friday? And that was as close as an 8-point game, as close of an 8-point game as you're ever going to watch. Hope you got to watch and or listen to that one. But 7 o'clock Friday, 5 o'clock Saturday, as we board up and fly on out to Nashville and book on up to Bowling Green, Kentucky. I think I've got that geography right. Going up on over to Bowling Green. But ESPN Plus Friday night, CBS Sports Network making our national television debut with my guy Alex Del Barrio on that call. I'll be on the audio side of things for every game. 6:45 Houston Methodist Hospital pregame show coming up on Friday against a very talented Western Kentucky team that Coach Pera and I will dive into here in a little bit. But all the games on the TuneIn app, ricehouse.com, and the Rice Game Day app as well. But today's show, we'll have Conference USA Player of the Week, Quincy Olivari. It is really cool how these things kind of just fall into place. I've wanted to get Quincy on the show forever. I was like, it's not hard to pick on Quincy games because he's had so many great games this year, and just the way the schedule and spacing of the shows has been, this was perfect. And I'll try to get him to come out of his shell a bit. If you spent 5 minutes or watched if you spent 5 minutes around him or spent 5 minutes watching any game or even me describing him on the broadcast, he is not the quiet, introverted type. So that I'm looking forward to seeing how that one goes. But then we'll hit the links. Owl's longtime golf coach Justin Emmel joins us. And like most sports on campus, we didn't have a regular golf schedule in the fall semester. So all spring, which you normally think of as a spring sport anyway, but Coach Emmel will talk about how that was their schedule was affected, but also how the guys have taken advantage of that too. But some other Owls notes this week: Rice senior outside hitter Nicole Lennon and junior setter Carly Graham took home the Conference USA Offensive and Setter of the Week awards. Congrats to them. Helped the Owls to a pair of sweeps in their Conference USA opening series against Louisiana Tech. Lennon, 25 kills. Graham dished out 65 assists over the 6 sets. Owls are at Southern Miss coming up Sunday and Monday for continuing this spring volleyball season. And Rice women's basketball back in action this Friday and Saturday. Program has been paused. The Owls are pumped to be back on the hardwood against Western Kentucky at Tudor Fieldhouse Friday and Saturday afternoon. Unfortunately, still no fans at Tudor Fieldhouse because deemed by the crisis management team on campus. But Owls are 6-0 in league play. They haven't played in almost a month, but by the time that Friday one tips off. But both are on ESPN Plus Friday and Saturday, and the audio version also on riceowls.com. Every show proudly brought to you by IBEW Local 716, International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers Local 716, lighting up Rice University in Houston for over 100 years. We're just getting started. Kick off the show with Coach Pera coming up next on Rice Owls Insider from Learfield IMG College.
Even now, while we're distancing, your body needs to move. At Houston Methodist Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, our teams are ready with advanced technology and imaging to deliver custom treatment plans safely. And our minimally invasive procedures can help you heal faster. We have the expertise to keep you moving because every movement matters. Find the care you need at locations throughout Houston. Houston Methodist, leading medicine.
Time out. Smart Financial wants you to know that a good banking experience shouldn't feel like you're getting tackled. Since 1934, we have prided ourselves on providing hassle-free services with a game plan that focuses on people, not profits. If you live, work, or go to school at or around Rice University, visit smartcu.org to join our family and become a part of the winning team. Smart Financial, proud sponsor of Rice Athletics, federally insured by the NCUA.
Welcome back to Rice Owls Insider and the voice of the Owls, J.P. Heath.
Welcome back on Rice Owls Insider. We have Coach Pera coming up here in moments. A reminder that our friend Smart Financial's game plan is simple. People before profits, whether it's saving for retirement, finding your favorite car, or buying your dream home, they can help. Text RICE to 276-278 to find out. Now, fourth-year head basketball coach for Rice Owls, Scott Pera, with us here. And, Coach, how are we doing?
Good, JP. How are you doing?
Cannot complain. A great weekend of some Owls hoop with those 2 wins. 52-point turnaround in the win on Friday. Let's start there. What did the team do to bounce back so authoritatively?
It's just who they are. You know, they had a great week of preparation. They obviously know they're capable of playing better than they did last Sunday at North Texas. They took great pride in making sure that didn't happen again. They were locked in all week, and then came out Friday and probably played our best game maybe of the year on both ends of the floor, and a big victory for us.
Yeah, Quincy Olivari coming up next segment, Conference USA Player of the Week, 49 combined points, 10 combined threes in those 2 games. He certainly bounced back as he had a little bit of a midseason lull there, if that's even fair to even call it that. But just what does Quincy continue to do to impress, and how big is that award for him to get?
Well, let's talk about his rebounds first. That's what had me excited. I'm really proud of him. You know, obviously it's great to get an honor like that, you know, to win a Player of the Week. But like I asked him, you know, why do you think you won it? And his first response is because we won our games. And that's the bottom line. You know, if we split or we get swept, he doesn't get Conference Player of the Week. I don't care what he did. And so it's about the team, and he knows that. And then if you win some games, maybe you get some individual awards, and that's just a really good thing for him in the program.
Yeah, more on the Saturday game coming up in a second. But since we do have Quincy and we're talking about him, a little more on him. Little Quincy story time. He's a unique personality. I hope that shows here if I can draw that out of him here in a little bit. But what's the first?
It shouldn't be hard.
Yeah, I know. We're getting into a lot, Coach. It'll be fun. But when's the first time you remember hearing about him and scouting him? Take us back a few years ago and how he's grown since then.
Yeah, that's a really good story because he was at our elite camp. I guess the summer before his senior year. I'm not sure what exact time, but that's where I noticed him first. And that's how he got on our radar. And then as the recruiting process went, he wasn't somebody that we had, you know, really highly targeted early. But as time went on, I kept bringing his name back up to then, you know, assistant coach Kreider. And we knew that he really liked us, enjoyed his time here on the elite camp. And so finally I said, you know what, he can really score it. You know, I thought he was a versatile player, and I wanted to go see him. So he was going on a trip to Cornell, which I think he'll probably tell you. I think maybe the plan was to commit there. And I kind of slowed the train down. I went visiting at his high school before the visit, told him how interested we were, wanted to schedule a visit for him to come to us. And I think that kind of swayed their kind of how they felt. And fortunately, he didn't commit to Cornell, and he came and visited us and committed to us. And, you know, obviously we're very thrilled that he did.
Well, another Georgia product's really been coming along with you. A plus-minus 32 for Cam Sheffield Friday, knocked down 3 big threes in that Saturday game. He's really found his role, hasn't he?
And that's the key, JP. He not only has he found it, he knows it, and he understands his role. And as a freshman right now, he is just battling. He's done a great job defensively on very good players. He rebounds. He'll stick his nose in, take a charge. He's shooting the ball better with more confidence. So, yeah, Cam is just really, really coming on. And I thought he had one of the highlight plays of the weekend, and maybe a lot of people didn't notice, is on the one offensive rebound there on Saturday. The ball was bouncing, and he was out of bounds, and he was smart enough to get both his feet back in bounds. He knew where Quincy was. As soon as he got his feet down, he grabbed the ball, fired it to Quincy, and he hit a three. And I think that increased our lead back up to 10. It was a heck of a big play.
Yeah, I didn't want to leave any of that Saturday game out of the discussion, because for an 8-point game, Coach, that was about as nip and tuck as you can get. That wasn't really decided until the last, I'd say, 30 seconds. How about the way the guys responded after the big win? And that's been the trend in Conference USA with these back-to-backs. The team that loses by a lot always plays close that second game.
Well, and we got off to a great start. I was really encouraged with our energy out of the gate at, up 21-7, I believe. But then we hit a lull. We couldn't score. We turned the ball over. Maybe we thought it was going to be a little easier than it was going to be. And Southern Miss, which I knew was going to fight, scratch, and claw, got right back into it and made it a game the rest of the way. Now, we did do a good job, too, at the beginning of the second half of kind of getting it back to 10-12. Gave us a little bit of a cushion for when they made the run, and then they cut it to 3. And Max hit a huge play down on the block with his left hand, drop step score, and that was the game. And I was really proud of our guys, how we shot free throws and how we handled the stretch.
Yeah, 14 to 15 free throws on the game and 14 three-pointers. That's a good recipe in there. And you mentioned Max, another big guy, Elijah Poteet's really been coming on. His numbers are deceiving. I tell other guys, like, hey, he's popping, but he averaged 9.6 rebounds in the 2 wins. How great is it to have a big man that, you can play in place of Max, but I know at times y'all have played him at the same time with Max too.
Yeah, and you'll probably see more of that moving forward. But I know in Saturday's game, they combined for 22 points and 14 rebounds. And if we get that kind of production from the 5 spot, boy, we're really in business. And Elijah, like Cam, just continues to grow as a player. But you get to know those two kids and their character and how coachable both of them are. Elijah's is of the same mold. He just is like a sponge. And you can see his conditioning get back in shape. And like I said, we've seen it the whole preseason. We knew this was coming. And, boy, we're excited to watch him down the stretch.
You got some more depth back with both games. He didn't score the most points, but Ege Hafsa being able to handle the ball and be able to deal, like giving a little bit of pressure on the other end. How big, specifically that Friday game, Coach, but he's obviously hobbled. He had that hitch in his giddy up, didn't score, but he had 5 rebounds and 6 assists. How big is it to have Ege back there?
It was huge. We knew we needed him, for that, like you said, the extra ball handler, take some of the pressure off Travis and Quincy. Ege sees the floor so well. The Friday night, he sparked us, with the way he was passing. And then Saturday, at the end of the half, he hit Travis on that backside. It was a 2-point game. He made it 5 going into the half. Another huge play, and Ege as well. Huge piece, and really play an important role in these remaining games for us.
And as we tape this coming up, 2 Bowling Green to play weekend. They were postponed at FAU, but Charles Bassey, it's not even fair to call it a lull because his down season last year was other guys' great seasons, career years, but 18 points, 12 rebounds, 3.5 blocks. Obviously gets the most attention, but what's Coach Stanberry's team working like this year?
They are loaded. Veteran, older group, talented at every position. Hollingsworth, who has been a tremendous player in the league now for 4 years, an NBA first-round draft pick in Bassey, tremendous athletic wing in Anderson, a bruising 4-man in Williams. I mean, they're a very, very talented team. We are looking forward to the opportunity, I call it. It's obviously a challenge as well, but our week of preparation will be key. Our ability to make shots and to push a tempo will be important, but they're tough, especially at home.
Yeah, I was going to get into that. Playing at their place, had some great moments in the past there, but they're 6-1 on the season in conference play, I should say. But they've beaten Memphis and Alabama, and they played West Virginia to a 6-point game. So if there is a best team right now, at least it looks like Western Kentucky in the conversation in Conference USA. And you've already played North Texas, but Western Kentucky could be the best team you've played.
Yeah, I mean, obviously they're very good. You've mentioned the wins they've had, who they've played, and they're probably the most talented team in the league, and could end up being the best team yet to be determined. But there's obviously some very good teams. You mentioned one of them in North Texas, UAB, La Tech, ODU, Marshall. There's just plenty of good teams, and we're looking forward. Like I said, we're looking forward to the opportunity to play them, and an opportunity to play 2 more games as we move forward here.
Thank you, Coach. We'll be seeing you soon.
Great to have you. See you, JP. Have a great day.
Head coach Scott Pera of our Rice Owls. Stay tuned on Rice Owls Insider, the Quincy Olivari, joining us next year from Learfield IMG College.
The members of the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers Local 716 built the things that make Rice University and Houston great, and we want you to join us. Build a better career. To find out more, visit IBEW716.net.
What do you do when you need safe, reliable corporate transportation? You go Win. Win Transportation is one of the largest group transportation providers in Texas, a leader in charters, shuttles, and special events of all sizes. 5 people or 5,000. Win offers customizable team transportation with a wide range of motor coaches, minibuses, and vans. So, for safe, reliable corporate transportation, do like the Owls and go Win. Book at gowin.com. GOWYNNE.com.
You're listening to Rice Owls Insider. Let's rejoin JP Heath.
Rice Owls and the Western Kentucky Hilltoppers coming up this weekend, Friday and Saturday in Bowling Green, Kentucky. Could be best teams they've played here this year, but the Owls will be there. And one of the guys will be the reigning Conference USA Player of the Week, Quincy Olivari, joining us here on Rice Owls Insider. Good day, sir. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm blessed. That's all.
So your initial reaction, walk us through, kind of paint the picture, as they say in my business. When you first heard you got the Conference USA Player of the Week award.
Coach P, he called me to his office. And he told me to close the door, and he had his mask on, so I couldn't see his facial expression, but it looked pretty serious. So, he just sat me down, just said, sit down. And then he stared at me, and I was like, what? And I started, smiling. He was just like, I got Player of the Week. And honestly, I was happy. I couldn't even describe it. I was just really excited. And he just told me not to tell anybody until it was public. So I just tried to keep my excitement in for an hour and a half. But when it was finally public, I was just yelling in my dorm room, just yes, it's obviously a minor achievement, but it's something that I'm grateful that I have.
Yeah, Coach, in his previous segment, just before you told me the other part of that conversation, and that I'll fill in some of those blanks, that you got that because y'all won. So obviously the 2 big wins against Southern Miss after y'all had been struggling a little bit, but y'all aren't making excuses. I will say some reasons is you didn't have your full roster. So how big were those wins against Southern Miss? Seems like you guys have really turned it around.
They were huge. We were able to just rebound off the loss from North Texas, and we just stayed together as a team. And being that we didn't have Chris and we finally got Ege back, he was able to just start to ease back into how we normally play, and it was just fun to have Ege back out there, and now we have Chris coming back this week. So it was definitely big to get those wins because now we have a little bit of momentum adding Chris back to the lineup.
You haven't been a secret all year. I mean, you had that great play essentially from the jump of the season. How have you seen teams try to scheme you differently because you've adjusted to their adjustments, but at the same time, you've been pretty consistent this whole year?
They've done a really good job scouting, but it's really just props to Coach Derek and to Coach P and some of the other coaches up there just helping me figure out the holes and the cracks and what I can do to still stay efficient and be a scoring factor outside of my defense and my energy. And that's really it. I mean, the teams have done a great job. I've had my struggles, but I just give props to the coaches for helping me.
But this whole sophomore season, it hasn't been a sophomore slump. You've made the strides. Is that part? I mean, no, it's a combination of 100 things, probably. A lot. You're getting used to the class load. Aiko and Rob are gone, so there's some shots available, and you yourself are improving. Is it a combination of a lot of things, or have you pinpointed something differently for you to really take that next step this year?
I think it's definitely just my confidence. Coach P trusted me. The coaches trusted me. That's definitely helped me tremendously. As long combined with our teammates, we've just been helping each other. So like if I have trouble with a class, I'll reach out to maybe Travis and he'll be able to help me because maybe we're in the same class. So we're helping each other off the court as well as on the court. So it's been a combination of a lot of things, but I think the biggest thing as far as on the court is the trust and confidence that I have in myself and the coaches have in me.
So you get the Conference Player of the Week award, and for a few weeks, Travis Evie kind of probably had that over you. He doesn't seem like braggadocious type, but understand y'all have become pretty tight and pretty good running buddies. But you have such different personalities, right? I've been able to interview Travis, so kind of walk us through what's made y'all so close and how on the court you two seem to be a pretty potent duo.
I mean, it really started in the summer or before the season when we first got here. And I mean, I didn't really know him. I just saw him as a short guy who didn't jump when he shot his jump shot. But I saw that he could really shoot. And I remember telling Van before the season, I said, man, me and Travis can be like Jason McCreath and Morris Allman, you know, because Jason's my mentor. So I said Jason and Morris. And he was just like, different positions, but similar. And ever since then, we've just always tried to work out together, and we just built a bond that has carried onto the court. And it's I don't know how to describe it, but I mean, I kind of like gave us the term with Dame and CJ. So like he's Damian Lillard, I'm CJ McCollum, and we just kind of run with that. So I don't really know how to describe it, but I'm just thankful that he's here. You know, I wouldn't be what I am without him, and that's all I can really say.
Now, I'm sure we'll talk to him later on, and he'll have his time to defend himself. But it seems that he's kind of a silent assassin. And I've interviewed him. I haven't got to know him because I knew you from last year. I've got to know him a little bit. But is he as quiet, natured, and reserved as he seems like on the court when he's shooting? Or
He is. He definitely is. He's someone that some people on the team kind of say that he's weird because he doesn't talk a lot. But I mean, I think that just makes him the most normal out of all of us because he doesn't say too much. You know, he just watches us and laughs at us. Doesn't really say too much. So yeah, he's same way he is on the court, same way he is off the court.
Yeah, take us through the dynamic of the team chemistry, because when I talk to Coach and Coach Green and Coach Glasser in different settings and other guys, the one thing that is common in between all of them is that how you guys have bonded so well. What goes into that, and kind of give us an inside peek of maybe an example of y'all's team chemistry?
I mean, I love these guys. You know, it's definitely something that has helped us on the court. We definitely hang out a lot. And let's see an example that we might have of us hanging out together. I mean, obviously we haven't done too much, but maybe something that we have done. All right, so here's one thing. It's not all the team, but me and Travis, Peyton and Cam. So Peyton and Cam have like a rook vet relationship, and so they always like playfully talking about each other. So one day after practice, they were competing shooting threes because I say neither of them can shoot. I'm just playing, but I say they can't shoot. So they were competing, and I told Peyton, I said, you know what, we're gonna play 2-ball, and it's gonna be me and Cam versus Travis and P. And so we were just competing. And I remember Travis and Payne went up 2-0, and we were going to first to 4. And Cam, I was yelling at Cam, you know, just playing with him, but saying like, come on, you got to pick it up. And so we actually came back and tied it 2-2. And Coach P just watching, just laughing because Cam is letting P, like, he's just telling him like, oh, you suck. You can't shoot. How you lose? And like me and Travis are just crying, laughing because it's just the fact that we're competing, but at the end of the day, we all brothers and we just laughing and having fun with each other. And it's like stuff like that translates to the court because, yeah, we're also getting up our shot. So I trust you to knock down this shot. And we also building team chemistry by hanging out together and laughing and playing like brothers. So that's probably the first thing that comes to mind. I probably got plenty more, but I don't want to expose anybody on this.
Yeah, that's a wise. You're getting older. You understand that might come around to get you. So you inspired me a bit. I've had this for a while, but seeing you, I guess it was a couple weeks ago, and Kevin and the Rice marketing folks, they have this stuff on Instagram, all you kids on the Instagram, you know. So they had you walking in with your cowboy hat. I'm not lying, Quincy. I didn't recognize you when you came in that day. Surely you don't remember, but I didn't recognize you because you had the cowboy hat on. So
no, that one was Payne. That was Payne idea. That ain't me. That's Payne.
That was your hat though, right? Or was that Payne's hat?
I couldn't pull that off. That was all Payne. That was Payne.
Really?
I couldn't do that. Yeah, I had the the parachute pants on.
Okay, see, because I got my Stetson here. I was ready to give you the props with it.
Nah, see, I can't even take Payne's props. That's all I'm paying.
Well, man, I got egg on my face here. I'm supposed to be the observant one. That's kind of my job. So, okay. Because I figured you being from Atlanta, I mean, come on, you're the Atlanta guy. You have the Southern roots. You're letting the Cali guy wear the cowboy hat and all that? No.
Nah, see, that's what Ben Moffitt, he called Payne out about that and asked him. He said, so is Payne wearing this cowboy outfit? Is this cultural appropriation? So, yeah, it was funny. Like, we laugh and joke about it all the time. But, yeah, I for sure couldn't pull off a cowboy boots and cowboy hat. That ain't me.
I thought you did. That's why you fooled me. That's why I brought my Stetson, my old white guy hat. So anyway, all right. Now, quick hit questions with Q. I see some marketing in the future. Okay, quick hit question. You can go as long as you want, but just some quick hit questions.
Okay.
When was your first dunk, kind of out of game and inside of a game?
10th grade. I was playing JV. And my first dunk was it was in warm-ups, but that ironically in warm-ups, that same warm-up game, I got it in game. I was just playing around for the JV game, 10th grade, having all the energy in the world. And one of the varsity kids came to me and said, just try and turn your wrist over and put it in. So I dunked it. And then I just remember getting the steal, second half, getting it and just dunking it. I just remember like baggy jersey just flying everywhere. I'm jumping everywhere in the crowd going crazy. But you know, that's what I remember.
All right, this is an easy one. First three-pointer.
Probably the first one I can think of is probably 5th grade AAU, just sitting in the corner like how I used to always do.
Just launching it up there. 5th grade, probably getting all that weight, shooting it from the hip, right?
Yes, sir.
Best player you've played with and best player you've played against.
Best player I played with might be.
You can't say yourself, Quincy.
You know me well. It might be Isaac Okoro in an All-Star game, and I played against Anthony Edwards.
He's okay. Isn't he? Number 1 overall pick, I guess.
Yes, sir.
He's okay. Are you a Falcons fan, Hawks fan, being from the ATL?
Big ATL guy.
Okay. See, and again, this is old guy, young guy here. A lot of you young guys don't stick with your team. It's just fine. It's fine, but it seems like you're Atlanta proud there, right?
Yes, sir. ATL, everything. I kind of had a notion where if you from a home city and your home city has a home team and you're not going for that team, you're a bandwagon by default.
There you go. So I'm sure you're a big Atlanta Thrashers fan too, right?
I was when I was younger. I used to like it. I used to like it for real. I know about the Thrashers.
Okay. Just testing you. Okay, your favorite food on a road trip, or I guess anywhere, like your favorite food.
Probably go-to might be chicken Alfredo, but if I'm feeling like exquisite, I might like some teriyaki salmon, yellow rice with some spinach.
Look at you. Okay. And like when you got strength coach James doing all your diet stuff, I don't want to get you in trouble here. Just pretend he's not watching. Nobody's watching.
Okay.
Least favorite food. You're like,
I tell him every time, no mushrooms. I do not like mushrooms.
Okay. We'll pass the word. I think I remember this answer from our appearance last year. Shows my old man memory. What's your second best sport? Like if you could potentially play college ball in another sport.
I tell them all the time, football. I am the best wide receiver to never play football ever in the history of the world.
You have a high opinion. That just shocks me, Quincy.
Or baseball. I'm just an athlete.
Didn't you tell me though last year? Am I remembering right? Like you started playing football, but you got hit in junior high, then you quit, or was that?
Maybe, but we ain't gonna put that on a record.
Okay.
I'm also a track star, cross country, everything, anything.
Okay, I got you. I believe you. I do. All right. What do you like about Houston?
It's just like Atlanta, to be honest. It's diverse, big city, lot of fun. You know. A lot of people to see, if you know what I mean, and it feels like home. If you ask me,
favorite,
it's just way bigger.
Hey, not too much, but yeah, Atlanta's up there. All right, and lastly, favorite class, favorite professor, and one you're like, man, that like most challenging class. I don't want to say least favorite to get you in trouble, but just like favorite class and the most challenging class.
Favorite class might be a language class taught by Professor Whitkey here, or a class taught by Professor Crossy. I like those two. I mean, I don't really I say I have a good relationship with all my professors, but those are two people I really like. And the class that was probably the hardest was last year was stat. But the professor really helped me. I will say that he really helped me get through that class.
Good deal. Hey, Quincy, appreciate it. Been fun getting to know you, but you just got to open up some more, man. You gotta open up some more right now.
I got you. I'll work on it.
All right. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Quincy Olivari of our Rice House. Stay tuned on Rice House Insider. We have golf coach Justin Emmel coming up right after this.
Have no post-game plans? You do now. Head down the street to Little Woodrow's in Rice Village and relax over indoor and outdoor games, sports, and drink specials that a college student cannot refuse. All you have to do is bring your student ID to enjoy $2.50 domestic drafts. Also, don't miss out on our Monday college nights as we've got $2 domestic drafts and $3 shots. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram to stay updated on all our upcoming events and specials. Little Woodrow's, the official Rice Owls game day headquarters.
The Wyndham Houston Medical Center Hotel and Suites is the preferred hotel for anybody visiting the Medical Center, the Museum District, or Rice University. We offer the largest suites in the Medical Center, complete with full kitchens, and our full-service restaurant and outdoor pool will make your stay complete. We look forward to having you experience the Wyndham Houston Medical Center Hotel and Suites soon. And if you need a group rate or need 10 or more rooms, don't forget to call 713-528-7744. That's 713-528-7744.
Welcome back to Rice Owls Insider. Here again, the voice of the Owls, J.P. Heath.
Welcome back on Rice Owls Insider. Reminder, I'm sure you knew this by now, but you can head on over to Little Woodrow's in Rice Village. Little Woodrow's definitely the place to be after a game. Follow them on Facebook and Instagram to stay updated with all their upcoming events. Little Woodrow's, your local Texas bar and grill. Now we have longtime golf coach Justin Emmel. It has been a while, Coach. How have you been?
Been doing good, yeah. We are very fortunate to be able to get out on the golf course during this crazy time and be outdoors and spread apart and out here competing, so it's good.
Yeah, that was where I wanted to start off, obviously, because I don't think we talked during the shutdown or right after it, or I guess some parts were still shut down. But how did the team stay sharp? With, golf being a skill that, you really need those repetitions. I guess that's some of that might be unanswered, huh? How do they try to do it? How do you try to do it?
It really is all about routine, which is really important in any sport, right? Being able to predict or plan out your schedule and plan your practice, make a game plan and go with it. We were able to do that pretty well in the fall. Even though we didn't have tournaments, we were able to practice, work on parts of our game that we didn't typically have as much time to work on, and then also get in the weight room and focus on school. So it was a productive semester, even though we didn't play in tournaments. But at the same time, that's why we do what we do. We want to get out and compete. And so that was a bummer that we didn't get to, but we've got a long list of tournaments this spring, and the guys are really excited to jump in.
Yeah, speaking of that, we're going to go into some of the roster, but just talk about the 5 tournaments, right? Did I get that right? 5 tournaments coming up over the next 5-6 weeks. So you're going to stay pretty busy driving to and fro and traveling about.
Yeah, our first one out of the 5 is right here in Houston at Golf Club of Houston, and that's where we are actually today working on it. And we're excited. It's our co-host tournament that we do with U of H, so it's a home game for us. Mm-hmm. And a golf course that we typically play really well on. And then we hit the road for Laredo, Texas for the Border Olympics. It's one of the oldest standing golf tournaments in the country. I think 1952 was the first year of that. And then we come back to South Main, and then we just kind of wash the clothes and jump back in the van for the Cabo Collegiate, which is not in Cabo this year. It's in Cabo Cabo Antonio Collegiate this year. And it's at TPC San Antonio, a tour venue, so it'll be really good.
Not bad.
And then after that, we kind of reset everything again and head up to Dallas to play an SMU's tournament. And then we finish that stretch in Lafayette, Louisiana for the Louisiana Classics. So, yeah, it's a busy time. I was a little concerned, in this time is that we might lose a tournament with maybe some positive cases or something like that. But I feel like we're in a pretty good routine right now of just being on guard, and we test twice a week, and that I'm really thankful for all that our administration has done to make sure that we could go out and compete, all of our sports, which is just really a huge task. And so they deserve a lot of credit.
Yeah, by itself, we saw this with the PGA, how golf is such a socially distant sport. Has that been easier? Not that anything's easy these days, but has it been easier to acclimate considering just the nature of the sport is outdoors and you're so spaced out? I don't want to assume or project anything, but how has that transition, if there has been one, how's that been?
It's really more about the off the course stuff that we've had to really make the biggest change on. The guys can't really hang out, go to dinner, all hang out in the golf lounge. That's kind of the sad thing about it is the team atmosphere we're kind of missing that right now, where we can really just hang out and be a team. So that's a bummer, but the flip side of that is we're able to be on the golf course, and that's where we really want to be. And so we can be a team out here, which is really great. And then on the road when we're traveling and just trying to, not to be around each other in close contact too much and to do a good job, keeping healthy, making good nutritional choices, keeping our hands off our face, wearing a mask, all those different things, everything we can do to try to mitigate the virus. And I feel like we're doing that. And I feel, we didn't have any cases in the fall, which was great, and most of the cases that happen are when guys are traveling on airplanes or, around a lot of people.
So looking at this year's roster, I believe you had the whole team this year coming back. So that obviously is a big strength, and discuss how that is a big benefit, but at the same time, the nature of this wacky game that we all love is that you're always learning something. So it kind of discuss the dynamic of the team, some strengths and some things you like.
Yeah, we got pretty much everyone back from last year, except for one of my seniors was going to take a fifth year, but then when we didn't play, he opted out. Mm-hmm. So he's actually come as an assistant coach for the spring for me, which is great. So we really got the whole team back from last year. And then we have a freshman from Spain who's a phenomenal player, Rodrigo Martin, and he's going to be a really big boost for our team. Very talented player, played really well as in his junior career, was on the national team in Spain, and it's just really talented. And then Jake Benson, who's been our top player, is a senior, and he's looking to come back for a fifth year when the NCAA granted the extra year for those affected by COVID. So, we've got some really good experienced guys, and we got some good young, hungry guys too. So, just got to try to find a little confidence right now. That's what we're looking for. And honestly, we're looking ahead to the tournament that's coming up here in a few days. It's going to be high of 45 degrees. And maybe a little bit of rain. So for an outdoor sport, that's not exactly what you want to do when you're relying on your fingers and the feeling in your hands and, being able to turn your body really well. So,
hey, you just went into your golf announcer voice. I really dig that. So you must have been approaching. I can see part of the background there. You must have been approaching a shot there. So I dig that.
Yeah, they're all back there behind me. So I'm trying not to talk too loud. Yeah, could you hear me good enough there?
Yeah, no, it's perfect. The last thing on the roster, I was looking at it. My goodness, it's cool because you mentioned that about Rodrigo, but you've got Spain, you've got Austin, you've got Irving, you've got Bernie, you've got Scotland with Campbell Gibson, Midland, San Antonio, Jack Diamond here from Houston, Thomas in Austin, and Jake, who is from Nottingham, England. Good mixture there. You got Texas and international players. That's a great mix, isn't it?
It is. Yeah, we got some really good players right here in our big state of Texas, and it's a great golf state. And then, obviously, we're trying to get the best student and golfer we can find, and it's really been cool to be able to go overseas and look at some really, really good players that are great students and are looking for the top-notch academics that we have at Rice. And so we just really have a lot to offer, and for anyone around the world, from any walk in life or that just loves the game and loves to study and do well in school. So we've got a kid from, we've I don't know if I can talk too much about any of our incoming players, but I think I won't go there because I'm not sure. So, but yeah, we've the future looks pretty good. It's been really fun to recruit people to Rice over the last. This is my 10th year, so it's been really cool. I love it here. It's a great place to work, and we got great people in our support staff and in our administration. So it's really great.
Hey, Justin, it's been too long. Let's do this again later on as the season's kind of winding down, and hopefully talking about Jake or others at Nationals. And thank you much, and get back to it, okay?
Yeah, great to talk to you. Thanks for the opportunity.
Yes, sir. Justin Emmel, Rice 10th-year golf coach, joining us here on Rice House Insider. I'll wrap up the show right after this.
The members of the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers Local 716 built the things that make Rice University and Houston great, and we want you to join us. Build a better career. To find out more, visit IBEW716.net.
Well, that is a wrap on another fun edition of Rice Owls Insider. Don't forget to subscribe to Rice Owls Insider on your podcast outlet of choice. We're also on the Rice Athletics YouTube page as well. And a quick tease, if you're on the audio portion, hey, we love it. We appreciate it. But I felt like, as some pittance for butchering that interview question with Quincy, I'd wear the old guy cowboy hat. Got this with the brother-in-law. We were in Fredericksburg over the summer when they first started allowing people to get out traveling again. And I knew I had to have it because it actually fit my big noggin. So anyway, I don't want to say totally a cowboy hat, but just kind of like Quincy, not really the country type person. Anyway, you're not on here for my cowboy or cowboy not opinions. But anyway, just thought I'd show it to you as I kind of teased you earlier in that Quincy segment, and good to see that guy come out of his shell. That was a fun chat, but he and his Owls will be at 7:00 Friday, 5:00 Saturday in Bowling Green, Kentucky, even though they are allowing fans and not as many as they've had in the past. It is always a crazy environment. I expect nothing less when we're there coming up this weekend, but ESPN Plus and CBS Sports Network, the Friday and Saturday broadcast, respectively. I'll have the call 15-minute Houston Methodist Hospital pregame shows on the TuneIn app, ricehouse.com, and the Rice Game Day app as well. Thanks to Quincy. Thanks to Coach Pera, as always. And thanks to head golf coach Justin Emmel for joining us. Have a great day or night. God bless. Go Owls. Rice fight. Be kind. That matters. We'll talk to you next time out here on Rice Owls Insider from Learfield IMG College.
On the Rice Sports Network from Learfield IMG College, you've been listening to Rice Owls Insider, powered by IBEW Local 716, lighting up Rice University in Houston for over 100 years. The preceding has been a Learfield IMG College presentation on the Rice Sports Network.